Scotty from Star Trek right here.
Hi.
James,
Okay, Jack. Good to see
we got
you.
the captain's
Thank
chair
you.
for you there.
Thank you.
Yeah, these are real special chairs that they brought in here. This is from the Relax the Back stores, and I understand they really. Joe tells me they use these on Star Trek now. They're using these.
I never had a chair as good as this.
Well, my apologies. My apologies. Hey, you know, for the first, everybody knows you from Star Trek, from the 6 movies and 10,000 episodes of Star Trek that have rerun so much that they're threadbare, and from all the other things you do. I wasn't aware until I read the bio, and you and I have gotten together a couple of times previous to this, but that you were injured on D-Day as what, a flyer or?
No, I was a regular old artillery officer, and I had to land in an LCA.
Yeah.
The same as, and I was #1 off of my beach on D-Day, and
that wasn't good.
And I was wounded about 11:30 at night. We went in about 7:30 in the morning, and but the worst thing was the rough water.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we were not afraid of anything that we met. We just wanted to be darn sure that we didn't drown out there. You know, what a mess.
But then, you were a flyer after that.
Oh, yeah, well, that was when I got out of hospital. The first thing that I saw on the notice board was for our notice for artillery officers to volunteer for air observation.
Yeah.
Because, and I had volunteered, and I was all set before August, the 7th or whatever.
Before the war.
Before they dropped the bomb. I was all set, volunteered to go to San Diego or Florida to train on taking off with jet.
Yeah.
A small aircraft, you know,
right.
But taking off with a jet off the ship itself, and then coming back and landing with a hook on the top of the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back and trying to get that hook into the wire into the hook.
That's not a good way to land an airplane.
No, and then of course they'd let the wire drop down, and you know.
I think the Enterprise was easier, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or just beaming you down. Good. What is it like to be a part of the American lexicon? Everywhere you go, people say, you know, the one phrase will live forever. Beam me up, Scotty.
I know.
I mean, as long as I mean, we've already heard this cornball line about 3 times, thanks to Joe Lenigro, our producer. You know, he's doing all this stuff on here today. But I'm. Wait a minute.
Oh, no, I tell you what, don't ask me. I've got to go and fix something.
Oh, no, you're kidding. Wait a minute. This is irregular. Hold on. This is highly irregular.
That way.
Wait a second. This,
every place they send me.
Hold on here. I don't think we've ever had this kind of thing happen. I don't believe this.
All right, I'll be back. It doesn't take me long.
Hey, this is a little unusual here. What is going on? What are they doing? What is going on here?
Let's see, where's the bad one? It's right here, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that one's loose. Here we go, another one. Is it working? There. No, once more.
It's not quite working.
There you are now.
All right, thank you, and we'll be back with more in a moment with James Doohan. Don't go away. This is so irregular. I can't believe that this happened. We got the lights on up like that. James Doohan. Our guest is James Doohan, who probably will eternally be known as Scotty from Star Trek. And James is in town, by the way, with the Museum of Science and Industry, which has had an ongoing Star Trek exhibit since February. I understand it's been breaking all the records for attendance at Mosey. And this is a big weekend. In fact, they have a sleep-in tomorrow night. They have things like a Klingon language class or something. I mean, wild things happen.
And what most people don't know is that I invented the Klingon language.
You did?
I did. And most Klingon people who really study the language all know that now. But, you know, the thing I said to Gene Roddenberry, I said, how are you coming along with the Klingon language? Yeah, he says, well, we gave it to a professor of language at UCLA, and he says, I didn't like what he charged, and I didn't like what he produced. And I was at lunch at that time. I said, when John and Poville and I, when we finished lunch and we walked back, he says, I'll go into his office and I'll create the Klingon language for you. He said, well, okay, you know.
Not believing it.
And within 5 minutes, we had a perfect Klingon language, the way it sounds today. And then I made all the words that every Klingon had to speak in Star Trek I, the motion picture. And as a matter of fact, the guy who wrote the Klingon book, I forget his name now.
You should have read the Klingon book yourself.
He said that he went back and found out that I was the one who created the language. And now just about everybody does.
Yeah, everybody speaks Klingon. That's a second language in school, or at least it should be. Well, you know, people think of you as Scotty and the Scottish dialect and everything, and they're not aware that you're an accomplished actor who's been in everything, and most recently The Bold and the Beautiful, getting into the soap operas now, that kind of thing.
Got a rave notice from the producer, too.
Oh, man, I don't get a chance to see that often, but I mean, I hope it isn't that salacious stuff where you get into bed with women and take your clothes off and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, no, I'm very serious.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. But, you know, one of the things we were talking about is people have seen you do these other dialects, to do the part of Scotty in the other dialects, which is so strange, and it's such an anachronistic type thing to see you doing it. Can you do a couple of those?
Well, when I was about 2 weeks before they were going to do the Star Trek pilot, I wasn't up for Star Trek at all, and but anyway, my agent sent me to read for the part of a Scotland Yard inspector on a show called Burke's Law. You remember that, with Gene Barry in the lead? Well, I gave them about 3 different British accents, and they smiled and said, well, that's very good, Jimmy, but we think you look a lot too much like Gene Barry. I said, I'm much better looking than he is, you know. And anyway, they said, well, okay, but you know what, it would look like nepotism. So anyway, I walked out and, you know, but anyway.
They're telling me we got to take a break right now.
Okay, take a break.
Hold on a second. You're going to end up in our soap opera here, which is coming up next. We'll be back with James Doohan in just a moment on Harrison Company. Start to stay on. Hey, we got more fun with Scotty tonight at Mosey at 8 o'clock. If you want to be a part of this, call the Museum of Science and Industry all weekend long. Our thanks to James Doohan, Scotty at Star Trek.
Thank you.
We'll see you Monday at 1:30. Thank you.